The wrestling universe witnessed an explosive turn of events on a recent episode of Monday Night Raw that no one saw coming. Roman Reigns, the dominant force known as the Tribal Chief, returned to WWE in a moment so intense, so impactful, that it will be remembered for years to come. But it wasn't just his reappearance that left the fans in awe. It was the nature of his return. Reigns didn't come alone. He came with reinforcements, a new iteration of the Shield. And together, they unleashed a devastating attack on Seth Rollins that has changed the trajectory of WWE's future forever. This episode of Suplex Saga is your all-access breakdown into one of the most shocking and emotionally charged storylines WWE has delivered in recent memory. Strap in as we dissect every layer of this momentous return. The buildup, the betrayal, the bombshell arrivals, and what it all means for the months to come in WWE. To truly understand the gravity of this moment, we need to start from the beginning. Back to the formation of the original Shield. The Shield debuted at Survivor Series 2012 as a mysterious trio in black tactical gear. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, who is now known to AEW fans as Jon Moxley. From the very beginning, the Shield made their presence felt, enforcing a brutal sense of justice on the WWE roster. Their mantra was simple: believe in the Shield. They tore through giants like John Cena, The Undertaker, and TripleH. Their triple powerbomb became a symbol of inescapable doom. They were efficient, ruthless, and incredibly popular. But all great things in WWE are tested by betrayal, and on June 2, 2014, it happened. Seth Rollins, known as the architect of the Shield, turned on his brothers with a chair to Roman Reigns' back and another to Dean Ambrose's head. The betrayal shattered the group and launched each member into separate legendary careers. Rollins became a cerebral master manipulator and a multi-time world champion. Ambrose evolved into Jon Moxley and found wild success in AEW, even becoming a 3-time AEW world champion. And Roman Reigns ascended to god-tier status in WWE, transforming into the head of the table, holding the Universal Championship for over 1,300 days during his bloodline reign. But like all empires, the reign eventually ended. WrestleMania 41 saw Reigns defending his title in a chaotic triple threat match against Seth Rollins and CM Punk. The twist came not from one of his opponents, but from the person he trusted most: Paul Heyman, the wise man. In a shocking betrayal, Heyman turned on Reigns and helped Seth Rollins steal the win and the championship. That betrayal rocked the WWE universe to its core and led to Roman disappearing from TV. For months, speculation ran wild. Was he injured? Retiring? Taking time off? No one knew. Meanwhile, Rollins capitalized on Reigns' absence. With Heyman by his side, he crowned himself the new kingpin of WWE. He built a new faction, dubbed the New Authority, and recruited Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to serve as his personal enforcers. Rollins was brash, confident, and openly mocked Reigns' legacy at every turn. He strutted around with the Money in the Bank briefcase, flaunting it like a trophy, declaring himself the future of the company. But Roman Reigns was not done. He was biding his time, plotting in the shadows. Whispers started to circulate. Maybe he'd return at SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series. But no one expected what came next. On the June 16, 2025 episode of Raw at the sold-out Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee, everything changed. Seth Rollins was in the ring, delivering another smug promo with his Money in the Bank briefcase in hand, and Paul Heyman grinning beside him. Behind them, Breaker and Reed stood like two immovable mountains. Rollins reveled in his power, mocking Roman Reigns and proclaiming himself untouchable. Then the lights went out. Darkness enveloped the arena. The air grew heavy. A low, thunderous drumbeat rolled through the speakers. The fans knew immediately. This wasn't just a surprise, it was an event. Chants of Roman, Roman, filled the air. The beat intensified until the lights exploded back on. There he was. Roman Reigns stood atop the ramp, hood over his head, black tactical vest strapped across his chest. But he wasn't alone. 3 hooded figures stood beside him, walking in perfect unison. The crowd erupted. The atmosphere was electric. Rollins, suddenly aware of the danger, dropped the mic. Heyman barked orders. The Shield's classic theme roared through the arena. Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield, and the fans absolutely lost their minds. Reigns led his new squad down the ramp, eyes locked on Rollins. Braun Breaker charged, only to be dropped by a devastating Superman punch. Bronson Reed tried to flatten Reigns, but missed and crashed into the corner. Then, one by one, the hooded figures revealed themselves. First, Jon Moxley, the former Dean Ambrose. His wild hair and crazed eyes lit up the crowd. He stormed the ring and dropped Rollins with a brutal paradigm shift. The second hood came off. Jo, Roman's cousin and former Bloodline member, long missing in action, now returned with fire in his eyes. Jay speared Reed through the ropes, clearing the ring with fury. And then came the third member, smaller in frame but no less intimidating. She stepped forward, hood still up, and slowly pulled it back. Rhea Ripley. The crowd lost their minds. Ripley, the former women's world champion, the Nightmare herself, now stood shoulder to shoulder with Reigns, Moxley, and Jay. A woman had never been in the Shield before, and Rhea wasn't just filling a role. She was redefining it. She stormed after Heyman, lifted him like a rag doll, and tossed him into the barricade with ease. Back in the ring, Reigns picked up Rollins' beloved Money in the Bank briefcase. Rollins, battered and crawling, reached for it. Reigns smirked and smashed the case across his back. Once, twice, then a third brutal shot to the ribs. Rollins screamed in pain. Then Moxley stepped in, briefcase in hand, and clocked Rollins square in the head. Seth crumpled. Breaker and Reed lay outside the ring in ruins. Heyman groaned in agony. Rollins was bleeding from his forehead, sprawled on the mat. Reigns, Moxley, Jay, and Rhea stood in the center of the ring. They raised their fists in the legendary Shield pose, a visual that sent chills through everyone watching. As the camera faded to black, the crowd was still chanting, "Shield, Shield, Shield," at full volume. It was mayhem. It was magic. It was the start of a new era. What does this mean for the future of WWE? Roman Reigns is back, and he's brought a new version of the Shield that mixes legacy with evolution. Jon Moxley's return, even if for a short time, creates endless dream matches and intrigue. Jey Uso's reuniting with Roman opens the door to deep family storytelling. And Rhea Ripley. She's the ultimate game changer. Not just a participant, but an anchor in this new faction. She blurs the line between men's and women's divisions, signaling a bold new direction for WWE. There's now talk of Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, possibly with the Money in the Bank briefcase or a shot at the championship on the line. But the bigger picture is even more compelling. The Shield versus The Authority. War Games at Survivor Series. Reigns, Moxley, Jay, and Rhea Ripley against Rollins.